I was muted. Hey, hey, everyone. What is it cracking? How are you guys today? I didn't adjust my seat. My whole head is getting cutting off. Well, I'm super excited for today. I know that we rescheduled last week's stream. We are closing off Black History Month with one of my favorite people. He's turned into one of my favorite people very recently over the last few months. Our CEO, Rudy Ellis, Rudy J. Ellis, or I'm going to ask him what the J stands for. I'm going to bring him on screen now. We're going to get straight into our interview. Thank you for joining in. What is cracking? What's popping, Rudy? How are you?
Olas. How are you, India?
I'm doing fine. So let's get straight into it. What does the J stand for? Straight into the questions.
Straight into the question. I gotta pull the zipper down for that one. What does the J stand for?
Yeah.
Actually, take a guess. What do you think?
J, Rudy. I have another question. I should have asked that one first. I'm going to unzoom you out. There you go. That's a little bit better. I had you zoomed in. J, you put me under pressure. The first thing that came to mind was Junior, but that wouldn't be your middle name.
No.
I know. Don't say no like that. Gosh. Not Jacob, I don't know. I give up. What is it? John. Rudy. And your first, can I tell them your full first name? Yeah.
Yeah, I was about to say it sounds it's as a part of the whole full name, right? So it's Rudiger John Ellis.
Rudiger
John Ellis.
Where does that come from? Where does that
So Rudiger is
derive
actually
from?
German. So
Okay.
I have been bestowed upon the awesome name from my father. So
Very
that
cool.
is his name as well. So I'm not a junior. But I do have the same name, and the John is the middle initial. Fun fact: I have two sisters, two younger sisters. They also have middle initial J as well.
Oh,
So we're
that is a fun
all
fact.
the kids are RJE. My mom is RAE, and my dad is RZE. So that's just weird, right?
I mean, it's weird, but it's cute.
A to
They've got the
Z and
family
JJJ in the
vibe
middle.
going on. I like it. I
Yeah,
like it. That's cute.
yeah.
I'm all for that. We got our boy James Hicks, Mr. Hicks in the building. What is cracking?
Hey
How
James,
you
long
doing?
time.
I
It's
know.
good to see you. I'm hanging out. Appreciate it.
Yeah. So I know we are busy as Switchboard Live
No, not at all.
staff, right? We want to make sure, so we're taking away half of the staff right now to do this. So we want to get straight into this so we can go back to helping our customers. So I'm going to kind of go straight into some of my generic questions, that I
Sure.
have for us. But first things first, how did Switchboard Live start and how long ago was that?
So let's see. So Switchboard itself as a company, we started in 2016, but I'll take you back a little bit further. The idea for Switchboard actually was in 2013, where former career was working for a sports technology company, and we provided websites for college teams and athletic departments that would stream like non-televised sports. So think men's and women's soccer, volleyball, all the stuff that you don't see on Saturdays and Sundays. We provided a platform for that content to be viewed by family members and fans throughout the world. And one of our customers came to me and said, "Hey Rudy, we have our own website that we stream our live events, but we also are a part of the conference as well. How can we, or actually not even how can we send video to both of those at the same time without needing, multiple computers, multiple cameras, multiple, students, whatever, whoever is actually filming the event? Is there a way to do that?" And honestly, that was, the itch, right? That was the problem that I saw. Like there should be a way to easily do that for someone that's not super technical or someone that's going to go build their own video system, right? And so that was where I went home and figured out a product that could be used to take that stream from their encoder and publish it to both of those destinations or endpoints simultaneously. And so from there, that started this concept of building a product. First time building a product based off of a user's challenge or issue, and providing them with the solution. And just for sake of time, because like you said, we're pretty cramped today. That then evolved into another conversation where a year later we were at this event called the Streamies Award Show, and
Yeah.
we were able to to be the distribution partner for them, right?
Yeah.
For Dick Clark Productions, and streaming to all these YouTube channels and MySpace page, and Snappy TV / Twitter back then, and from that point on, that started the snowball for what has become Switchboard Live. So
Yeah.
2016 technically is the date, and that name came from an accelerator. We went through an accelerator called Techstars, and they
Okay.
helped us to identify like our core, like who are we, who do we serve, and how do we want to be known in the industry, and so what better way, right? Switchboard, we're
Yeah.
plugging you into all
Yeah.
the different part destination that you need to go to.
Yeah, yeah, that and what's so funny, even now, even more so, I was on last week with Alex from Speedify Live,
Hmm.
also another Philadelphia-based company, and he
Yes,
told
yes,
me that,
I forgot about those guys. Yeah.
right? And they told me that that's what their company used to be before we came out. He actually their Speedify he started off with calling Speedify Switchboard, and then we came out and he was like, "Well, we got to change it." Like
I think I remember him saying that.
yeah.
It's been a while since I've talked to the team over there, but I do remember him saying
Yeah.
that. Switchboard. That's probably the third story like that I've
Yeah.
heard, where someone says, "Hey, fun fact: our product or our company used to be called Switchboard, and they
Yeah.
changed it because of something else." But I
Yeah.
like to think it was us as well.
I agree. I agree. I like it. I like it. So I'm gonna put you under pressure here.
Uh-oh.
Not that we, not that we play favorites, but what's the one encoder that you use more often than the others, or what's your preference of
I
encoders?
think someone in the background has a question to
Yeah.
ask me.
Yeah. Can you get out of here? I should have put her in the crate. I was trying to behave, but she brings the entertainment to our
I
streams.
love it. I love it. Hey, this is the joys of working remote, right? So
Exactly.
I get it. Sometimes I have my son knock on the door. Hey, Dad. I'm like, wait a minute, I'm busy, right?
Right, right, exactly.
Um, favorite encoder
Or an encoder of preference, live production
preference.
software.
Well,
Yeah.
so I mean, it's kind of unfair because I'm not a content creator. That's
Mm,
the interesting thing. You are, right?
right,
So you
right.
love creating content. That's you're great at it. That's your passion.
Yeah,
For me, I much rather be like the Wizard of Oz, the man behind the curtain, right? Just
yeah,
making and listening and talking and solving challenges, because that's what I did back then, and here we are. So, um, if I were to say that I had a favorite encoder, so I'll pick two, if that's fine.
okay,
Like,
okay, fair.
one's a software and the one's a hardware, right?
Okay,
So, yeah. So software would definitely be probably Ecamm, right?
okay.
I think Ecamm is a fantastic software that runs on Mac. It's simple, it's easy,
Yeah,
and you could do so much, right?
yep,
With that application, and that's a
yeah.
great team over there. So I think that would probably be my favorite
Oh,
software encoder.
yep.
And for the hardware, it's probably um, I think the cool factor is probably the products that LiveView makes, because
Mm,
the ability to go on the field, go on the road, have this portability. I think
yeah,
that's pretty awesome to really take and get a good quality stream from a full-fledged sites camera, right? Not a cell
yep,
phone or what have you. I think
yeah,
what they've done in the industry and where they've started 10 years ago, I believe they've been around for 10 years,
yep.
is truly remarkable. So those are probably my two, and yeah, two encoders
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah, we definitely gotta get them on the show. I was thinking about it. And I know that
Yeah, we should.
yeah, so we'll talk about that after the fact. But yeah,
Yeah,
that's
that's a good
definitely
idea.
them. And I also thought about PTZ Optics, of reaching out to Test and getting them on. I want to go hang out in their studio. But anyway, all right. So pandemic happened. I know that you and I, right? I had just started working with Switchboard Live this November. We started talking in October. And I know that on some of our conversation, we talked about where some of the opportunities are, where some of the misses could, I don't want to say misses, but what you felt like, oh man, all right, I didn't realize that if we go back from the pandemic to now, because a lot of these companies, even Ecamm included, skyrocketed from the pandemic. Because obviously we're all home, everybody's remote,
Hmm.
everyone's remote, and you did see a surge of live streaming, not just from content creation, but even like houses of worship and churches, right? Everything was closed, and it's how do we still continue to get our message out there? So from that, if I were to ask you, what do you think maybe you feel like you wish you would have done differently during the pandemic? Talk to us about that. And what, if anything, well, not if anything, what do you think you guys did well that you want to maybe continue to capitalize and embark upon?
Got it. That's a good question. What would I've done different during the pandemic? Well, I don't know if we've done anything different. I think what we learned, I'd say I'll take that from what we learned from that experience is where we actually are, where we fit at in this live streaming ecosystem, right? So we're not an encoder, right? We're not a discovery platform where you go to watch content, but we sit right in the middle. And so that's power, right? Being able to take video, well-produced video from whatever encoder, a person, a broadcast team, house of worship, whomever is making, and making sure that it gets to all the different destinations or outputs it needs to get to in a simple and easy manner. And we didn't realize how impactful, at least for me, how impactful that was for people that were used to having these in-person types of events or conversations, or even, doing their job. So from insurance agencies to yoga studios, we were getting a lot of inbound from folks who were looking to take what was an in-person event and figure out how can they still make money? How can they still, conduct business? And so, not really understanding these different types of new, opportunities and giving them the solutions, right? So we turned away a ton of folks because we weren't exactly what they were looking for, but it
Mm,
also opened our eyes to understand where we do fit at in this live streaming supply chain,
yeah,
and for us to try to figure out a better way for people to self-identify what Switchboard does and how Switchboard could benefit them. And
yeah,
then that really helped us to focus on, okay, now that you understand that you're using an encoder and you need to go to your Facebook and YouTube, let's figure out like how do we get you more people, right? How
yeah,
do you get more eyeballs on those streams? Um, and that's really been where we've been focusing a tremendous amount of our time on
yeah,
is doing just that, right?
yeah,
Now that you've streamed, you go live to Facebook, you go live to YouTube, your website, wherever it may be. Now, how do you increase your viewership? How do you increase, your content? How do you tap into communities that you otherwise would not have accessibility to?
yeah.
That's where I think, coming out of that, where we were able to really, accelerate and focus on.
Yeah, yeah, and I can definitely say one of the things that you've helped shift my mindset is a lot of us in the ECAM community that are active, because that community is huge, right? But the ones that are active are individual content creators. So you have like
Mm,
myself, James Hick, who's James Hicks, who's in the comments, Paul, who's in the comments, right? We're all individuals, but then there are these larger organizations and enterprise companies that are using these products, and you've helped me really recognize that, of who our demographic is, who we
mhm,
serve, because for us, as Switchboard Live, we have a handful of great features, but one of the things that we do really well is that we do simulcast, multi-stream to multiple destinations. For us as content creators, you think about 2, 3, 4, 5 destinations. And once I, joined the company, you're like, no, we got customers that are doing 30, 40, 50 destinations, right? That's beyond a content creator's perspective. That's really like some of our larger customers. So I'll segue into that. What are some of the larger customers that we work with or have worked with in the past? And can you give some examples of that?
yeah, I think one of the how we started, right? So, kind of filling in some of the gaps that we talked in the past about the origin story for Switchboard, is, after that one event, we spent a ton of time in the event space. So we were working with big, brands or folks that needed a stream team, which we were, subject matter experts. We came in, we provided that. But then also they needed the ability to connect to, like you mentioned, all those outputs, all those destinations that matter to them. So the distribution side. And so for us, building a product that helped us do our jobs better, like we had an amazing time, learning and working with brands like, Monster Energy and Harley Davidson and Dell and EA and Alienware. So like it
Yeah.
was, it's great to not only be there as a support, but also, be able to have a product that they can, use it as well. And so our goal was like, how do we take, that process, that experience,
Yeah.
but then also make it easy for, Johnny Streamer, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
As we always talk about,
Yeah.
to be able to do the same thing, on his or her own, right? To be able to
Yeah.
grow, their audience, as well. And so that's what I think is super exciting about, where we're heading and what we can do. Because back to the pandemic, understanding how people were thinking about live video has always been, in my opinion, a product, right? So if you think about when you watch something, you're consuming it, right? You're sitting, you're even to TV or what you're doing today, you're consuming that content, you're consuming live video. But we see it, live video as a distribution, mechanism, as a medium to get whatever that content is to different audiences, to different communities, so that you, at the end of the day, can get more people to see it. Because at the end, that's what you need for live video, right? It's
Yeah.
is eyeballs, is viewers, and so
Yeah.
so we really think about live video as a way to create that FOMO, right? Hey, it's happening now. Be a part of this. Join
Yeah.
in,
Yeah.
engage, talk, and so forth. Or come purchase this, come buy this, come sign up for this. Like, there's ways to really leverage live as really as a distribution channel,
Yeah.
right? As and so it not just be a content, right, or a
Yeah.
product essentially.
Yeah. 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 Good stuff. Good stuff. So, of all the features that we have and the things that we do very well, do you have a favorite feature that, like, when you guys came up with the idea, it was like, this is it. Like, this is the jump off. This is the jam right there.
The jam,
This is the jam. I don't know. I don't know. I was just throwing stuff out
I
there,
like
see what
it.
would stick.
Um, well, I think what's definitely become, my favorite feature would be
Yeah.
viral stream share.
Yep.
And the only reason why I would say that is my favorite feature is because when I think back to that earlier event that we were doing, there was so much coordination that we had to do
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
get connected to the various social channels of the participants and the back and forth and the email, like
Yep.
um, being provided, usernames and passwords and being made an admin or a manager. Like, it was insane, right? And
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
now you fast forward today, in a matter of like 3 clicks, I can send you a link,
Yep.
and whether it's on your phone, whether it's on your computer, you can
Yeah.
sign in and just add, and then hands free, right? When you
Yep.
go live, I go live automatically, and so
Yeah.
that to me, it may not seem as powerful, for folks, but when you have to do
Yeah.
all of those
Yep.
elements that's assigned to getting an event pulled off,
Yeah.
you realize how simple and easy viral stream has become. And this
Yeah.
has been iterative, right?
Yeah.
We've had different iterations of stream share, from being able to send an email, right, and that get lost, right? So it's like,
Right.
all right, well, now we got to figure out a way. Or hey, how about
Yeah.
we build like a page that's
Yeah.
like Eventbrite, right, and tell
Yeah.
people to go there. And so now it's like, well, let's think about who's actually streaming and what devices folks are using.
Yeah.
Obviously, mobile was huge, and
Yep.
so that's been, now I think about it, I guess it's like the third iteration of this, right? So our goal was to make it mobile first, and
Yeah.
then kind of improve upon there, and continue to improve upon that moving forward as well.
Yeah, yeah, I absolutely love viral stream share. I think about, you talk about just the manager's username and passwords, and I remember when I first started streaming during the pandemic, with what I do with the bank, we do a lot of financial literacy stuff.
Hmm.
And I had partnered with a local nonprofit that they wanted to use me and my services to stream a first time homebuyer seminar to their Facebook page. And it was like, well, how do we do it? And it was like, well, you have to make me an admin, right? We had to go through all of that stuff where, if you don't really know the person, to make them an admin or a manager, or you can do it, it's okay to do it for just one stream, but then you have to be diligent.
To
Remember
go
to take
back.
them off, right? Go
Yep.
back and take them
Yeah.
off. I think about, and I've done it for a few nonprofit agencies because I obviously that's, where I'm connected to. And just a viral stream share is just so much easier where I don't have to do anything. Listen, you go in, you have your own logins, it's secure, save your phone number, and then you can, either leave it or just go back, retrieve your session, and then get rid of it. It's like the best thing ever. I absolutely love that. So,
Yeah. It's interesting because it's one of those things that initially just started off solving like a task or solving like just
yeah,
a little. It has nothing to do with live video, right? It's
right,
just getting access to
right,
where the video needs to go.
right.
But when you start, you take a step back and look at what it's unlocking, the capabilities, and
Yeah,
then what it's solving for, it's actually pretty powerful
yeah,
for just a URL. And
yep.
so yeah, I'm glad that we were able to do that, and looking forward to adding more features, to that actual feature itself.
Yep, yep. So obviously I have insider access. What would you share with our community that, we have down the pipe? What details can you share? What's coming soon? What's the one thing you're most excited about? Because we're working on a ton of different things. Obviously,
Yeah.
the efficiencies that they can't see, that's something that we're working on every day, and we've been working on very hard. The dev, well, you guys, I'm just the face at this point. You guys do all the work, all the back end. Tons of efficiencies, but there's going to be a lot of stuff that it's going to be front facing, customer facing. I'm super excited about. So what do you want to share with the community?
Yeah, the thing about technology, right? There's always, the prioritization of features, listening to customers, understanding it while maintaining stability, right? So, I mean, there's times where you have big companies, right, that have, challenges and so forth. I even saw, I think earlier today, like Cloudflare was having some issues as well. And so for us, when we release code and when we're putting out products and new updates, our whole thing is about keeping that, stability in place. And so our goal is to continue along those efforts as well. And so I just want to say, at least for where we're going and what we're trying to do, sometimes things don't work, right? Right. Sometimes, unfortunately, it causes problems.
Yeah.
And our goal is to make sure that we have stability for our customers, right? Because they rely on us, right? This is
Yeah.
live stuff. And so live is important. You don't get, many do-overs, right? And so so first off, I just wanted to acknowledge like some of the challenges that we've had, over the last couple of days with, some of the issues we've had. But I 100%, support of from a dev perspective and our dev team in ensuring that we're, on top of it and we have, these issues resolved. But that allows us to then, like you said, unlock new features and
Yeah.
new things that we've been asked for over the, last, couple weeks or months or what have you. And the things that I'm super excited about is like, how do we make it easier for our customers to be able to add new destination types, right? So that's definitely something that's coming down the pipe, meaning the ability to have an embed player, right? Being able
Mm.
to have, your Facebook, your YouTube, and then your website. So we've done that in the past, but it's been more of a manual, kind of provision of an embed player. But now we're focusing on making that more automated so that you can, just like you add a Facebook or YouTube, you can add a destination that allows you to embed that on your webpage, right?
Yep.
And then you can go live, turn it on and off in an easy, simple way. And so
Yeah.
that's something where, I think back a couple years back, we weren't going to go that route, right? It just
Mm.
didn't make sense. We were going to focus on the social, but now that's what has been asked for, and
Yeah.
we definitely see the use cases, for that. So that's definitely something that I'm excited about. A, it's not manual, and B, that it'll be automated, and C, it should just flow easily
Yeah.
with with the destination, because that's exactly what it is.
Yeah, yeah. I'm personally, taking advantage of that on my website, and I absolutely do love it. One of the things from an individual content creator perspective that they talk about that is directly related to this is just really trying to own as much as your content, right? Trying to, I send my content right now, we're sending it to YouTube, Facebook, all of those places. And if something happens that YouTube decides to shut down, or I remember at some point, maybe about a year and a half ago, Facebook like went kaputs and no one could stream. It was for a few hours and there were
Crazy.
important streams. It was like craziness, right? And that happens. It wasn't just Facebook. It's happened where huge accounts like StreamYard, they had some sort of strike against them and YouTube took their accounts down, right?
Mm.
So just owning as much of your content and having a backup plan like this embed player, where if you have your own website and you can direct your customers there, that's so critical. So us
Huge.
being able to offer that, right? Offer that to our customers, I think I was super excited when you told me about that. And that's huge for just a handful of different things from an entrepreneur, or just if you're doing virtual events or something like that, and you don't want to go through YouTube, Facebook, you can just have it on your website, create a private page or
Yeah.
make it public and just send everybody all your traffic there. So
Yeah,
that's super dope.
especially as a content creator, right? There
Yeah.
are different categories of sites out there from a monetization perspective, right? So
Yep.
whether you're putting it on your Patreon page or behind some type of paywall, or even a pay-per-view event, right? So
Yeah.
now
Yep.
you can, do this for, hey, watch the beginning part of our stream that's live on Facebook and YouTube as a free kind of look in approach, and then the rest of this event's going to happen here. So
Yep.
it's again using live video as a way to like tap on someone's shoulder, get their attention, bring them back, make them aware, make them educated on what you're doing, and then once you
Yeah.
have their attention, I think it's in your best interest to have a call to action, right? What do you want them to do, outside of just enjoying your great quality content? So
Yep.
there's definitely multiple uses for making an embed player. And honestly, like, first I think receive that feedback, it's, well, yeah, there's definitely players out there you can use, right? You can just
Right.
embed YouTube, right? And so like that
Yep.
was always the reply, the answer, because there's also cost that's associated, right? So
Yeah.
there's bandwidth, and it's making it compatible with all different types of browsers and so forth. So those are the things that from a technology company, you have to keep in consideration as well. So it's
Yeah.
not just as simple and easy as at all times to turn things on as well.
Very cool. Very cool. Let me see. I'm trying to think. I know we were going to keep it concise, sweet, and to the point. You talked a little bit about, what you would do different. What have you, for you as a CEO, a business owner, obviously you've been doing this for a hot minute. If you were to give to, other entrepreneurs like myself, other content creators, like what's some stuff that you've learned? What would you not do again? Like give us some information there.
That's a good question. Well, the first thing I would say is definitely take that leap, that leap of faith in yourself, right? So, for me, I had a decision tree of either staying, at a job that I really wasn't passionate about, and also taking a pay cut, right? And so I was like, well, you know what, I have, I have faith in myself that I could go out and take this idea and see if it has legs and so forth. And then also see if there's, other folks that are interested in what we're building here. So obviously definitely number one for anyone that's thinking about, entrepreneurship or even, approaching that, definitely take the leap of faith, have a plan, the nights and weekends. So you have your 9 to 5 and then you have your 6 to 10, definitely do that. Right. I'm not
Yeah.
saying just job because Rudy said so,
Right.
but, I would say definitely, put a plan together, right? Figure it out like, hey, I want to start this quarter, right? And then by the end of 90 days or 30 days or 60 days, whatever it may be, this is what I want to achieve, right? Because those are the same types of things you're going to need anyway as you're running a business, right? You're going to have priorities and so forth.
Yeah.
And so that would be definitely one thing if anyone's on there. So do it, right? Just do it, right? I definitely would say that. Don't sit and think and then
Yeah.
regret, years later. So I definitely look back and 10 years, right, from an idea to where we're
Yeah.
at now. That's I feel it does not feel 10 years at all. So
Yeah.
trying to think what else. What would I do differently? I, th- I think if there was an opportunity, I don't obviously there's no regret at all, but maybe listening a little bit more to some of the customers.
Mm.
And partly because we were building a product that was really focused on a customer base that we were working with at that time.
Yeah.
And with anything, things change and evolve over
Yeah.
time, right? And so, maybe we could have been a little bit more flexible because startups, they are flexible. Maybe
Yep.
we could have been a little bit more flexible to start thinking about some of the features that some of, these new types of customers that were coming in, individuals, small businesses, streamers per se.
Yep.
And they were asking for certain features, right? Versus it just not, hey, we need all these things to to go live. But there was some validity in some of the things they were asking. So I think we probably could have done that, and that probably would have helped us to just incorporate some of those features a little bit sooner than
Yeah.
later. But, yeah, off the top of my head, I probably think that would probably be the one thing that I would do a little bit differently as well.
Yeah. Cool. Cool. All right. Well, any parting words? I think it was great. I thoroughly enjoyed interviewing you.
Yes,
I got to
yes, I
know
appreciate it.
some new things about you. Call you Rudiger.
No
I knew
parting
that though, but
words.
yeah, any parting words for the community?
Um, No, I think, our goal at Switchboard is to build the
Yeah.
best product that we can.
Yeah.
We think and we want to make sure that we're providing, a super easy and simple solution for all of our customers. We definitely listen to our customers. We love talking to our customers. We love getting feedback from our customers.
Yep.
And yeah, without customers, obviously we wouldn't be here. So we appreciate the folks that have been with us through the journey over the last couple of years, and we do have some, as you would say, OGs for
Yeah.
sure,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
We definitely have some OGs for sure.
Yeah.
So and we really appreciate some of those folks as well.
Yeah.
And yeah, if you're, again, back to the point you said earlier, if you're on the cusp of becoming an entrepreneur, starting a business, definitely do it. I can't see myself maybe, working with someone else. I mean,
Yeah. Yeah.
it would be really hard for that to happen, but
Yeah.
you know, things could happen, but yeah,
Cool.
do it.
Cool. Do it. Do it.
Do it.
Hold
Yes.
on here. Here, let me see. I'm trying to get my right sound effects. Here we go. I always make you
I like
laugh,
the fact that
Rudy.
you said, hold on, I gotta get my right sound effects
Gotta get
and
the
then you
right
can be
one.
hand acting with it. See, I have none of that. I have pins on my desk.
That's
Right?
it.
Like you got a stream deck with sound effects, right?
Exactly. I got all of that good stuff. I got all of that. Well, that's why you have me to do all that type of
Yes,
stuff. We're all good. We're all
exactly.
good. All right. Well, I am going to wrap it from here. Thank you, Rudy, for hanging out with us. Guys, we will be back next week, Thursday. I don't have a guest interview just yet, but maybe I'll interview myself. Maybe I'll have
What?
Rudy come on. Hold on. Let me bring Rudy back on. Yeah, maybe you can interview me. I don't know. We'll work
What?
that out. Rudy
That
said,
actually
what?
would be interesting.
That would be
Yeah,
interesting. Yeah, so
we
we'll
could do
work it
that.
out. You
Yeah.
and I will talk behind the scenes and we'll go from there. But yes, I will be back next week. And then on Thursday, we have our demo that we do. So if you have not signed up for our demo, switchboard.live/town hall, where we show you how to use Switchboard. And you can ask questions and interact with us. So you can hang out there. And if not, you can join us in the Cloud Connect community as well, where you can interact with us directly. All right, fam. Talk to you later. Rudy, I'll catch you later. Peace out, y'all. Bye, guys.
Sounds good.